This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning and welcome to Guardian Radio AM. Today is Thursday, January 12th, and it's a little after 11 o'clock in the morning. Once again, this is C.A. Newry, and I shall be your host for today as we voice the concerns for small business in the Bahamas. And in order to help me to have this discussion, we have Mark Turnquest, who's a business consultant and president of 242 Small Business Association and Resource Center. He's here and he's going to be lobbying, basically trying to explain to me what type of concerns do small business have in the Bahamas. I was telling him, said, man, the government is doing everything that they could. They have all kind of programs. But he said, no. There are things that government is not doing and that he is lobbying for, him and his organizations. And I said, okay, hold on right there. I hear you, but I've been watching the Access Accelerator. I've been watching the small business loan guarantee, and I say, what else y'all want, man? Y'all complain too much, man. The government is doing everything. Small business people straight. Stop complaining. You're chronic complainers, and I want to understand exactly what is it you think the government should be doing else. What else? What else you want? What else can you recommend? What else do you expect from our government? But before we even get there, because I'm going to push him, and he's going to try to explain. And make sure his mic is on there for me, please, because I don't hear him inside my ears as yet. Yes, I hear you now. And I want to first understand what is this Small Business Association, 242 Small Business Association. How long has been in existence? Do you have membership? Should we be rating you?
All right. Basically, my name is Mark A. Turnquest. I'm the president of Outreach Sales and Marketing Management. I've been in business for 22 years. I'm also the founder and president of the 242 Small Business Association and Resource Center. If I started with a march, okay, we marched in 2020, September. We marched because the former government keep on telling us that we are non-essential, but we indicated that we are essential because we feed our families. So it was a march, then it turned into a movement, and the movement was the 242 Small Business Association Resource Center. And when we marched to get the company reopened, and we also marched for a lot of strategic issues that was not taking place. And in 2020, after we marched, we decided to say, let's form an organization that focus on the small businesses, the really, really, really small businesses, not the big businesses. And hence, we start to put together some structure. And we got it incorporated. We already had a launch, and we already had 2 deaths of our executives. Of our former deputy director, he died. Chairman, he died. Peter Gilcoat. Of course, our former executive director, he died also. Quentin Sands. So we came for a lot of challenges. We met with the government, the Ministry of Finance, Honorable Michael Akides and his team, Simon Wilson, in 2021, and we met with the Prime Minister last year, 2022. So we met with a lot of strategic organizations that could assist us when it comes to the development of the small businesses. First of all, we are a membership over about 100 direct and indirect members, but we like to tell people we represent the whole Bahamas. We have a cadre of small business owners and who deals with product, service, consultants. And the most important, we are advocates for the development for the whole Bahamas. We are not new at this. I first had my summit, which was sponsored by Caribbean Export Development Agency in 2009. It was the first summit that focused on small business sector. Hence, at that time, one of the strategic initiatives came with that all of the members and the participant wanted some type of structure to develop. Hence, I penned the Small Business Act, the what I call the proposal for it, and I met with a lot of governments before 4 or 5 of them, and all indicated that they was going to get the Small Business Act together, and it never took place. We had certain variances. It was SMEDA, it was a Small Business Development Agency, came about. We developed that, and then they throw that in garbage. Then they developed the Small Business Development Center. So the challenge is, over the years, every time a new government comes in power, it always do not follow the structure of the previous government. Hence, we are challenged. It first started with Hubert, the Honorable Hubert Ingram, when we in 2002 I hosted the Domestic Investment Board launch. And what happened was that it was a good initiative to get local small business owners in the business. So we developed that. There was a PLP administration at the time. And when the FNN came in, they disbanded the whole organization, the whole department. Even the Ministry of Financial Services was disbanded. And a lot of my clients and members had some business plans in the Domestic Investment Board structure, and it was destroyed and nobody knew where they were. So there was a road for me. I almost reached the end of my journey in reference to small business development because I've been at it a long time. Also, presently, a member of the Small Business Development Center, SBDC. So I'm also on the board, and I was being the board of BIC for 15 years, over the years. So I'm not no stranger to small business community. And at that time, we decided, okay, let's have a structure in place. So when we developed the 242 Small Business Association Resource Center, we call it SPRC 242, we had certain intentions, deliberate in mind. First of all, we wanted to ensure that any pandemic, future or current, whatever, has some types of strategic initiative that will blend together the mixture of medical and economic type of structure where both the small business man could make it. Of course, the medical community could always structure such.
Let me stop you there, Chris. Let me stop you there. And I know you have a long history in lobbying for small business. And I know you mentioned being a part of SBDC and being on the board and doing recommendations. And you actually have been working and lobbying with government to form their programs that they have now, right? So I'll give you credit for that, right?
Right.
But something happened in 2020, and we know what happened in 2019 and 2020. Yeah. The pandemic hit. Right, and I know you use the word small business, but I find that a number of your businesses that you do represent are, for lack of better words, are micro businesses. Businesses would have like 5 employees, 10 employees, and smaller. Because I see small employers or small businesses go up to 100 people, and you may not necessarily represent it. I say, wait, aren't these the Chamber of Commerce? So I want to understand exactly. Who do you represent? Which is, I think, is the micro business, and we call them small business, and I understand that in lay terms. And I want to appreciate what exactly was the thing that sparked the need to establish this 242 business.
Okay, basically, this is going to be interesting. we represent, when I say small business, I indicate that it's micro,
Okay.
small and medium sized enterprises, MSMEs. Our representatives is basically, if you're making anything from $50,000 or less, whatever, up to $500,000. So that's what we consider, not really in reference to your staff level, but up to $500,000. And the reason why we are an alternative to the Chamber of Commerce, not a competitor, an alternative. So basically, we focus on the small businesses that does not have a voice in the country. And you stopped me when I was going to say that our other strategic initiatives, besides the pandemic, we also advocate for the legislation of a Small Business Act, right? So we in press and talk, we wrote a letter to the AG office already. We discussed it with the Prime Minister and the Ministry of Finance. Like I say, myself personally, before we formed the organization, was after it for the past 14 years. And it never, the structure was never had the political will to do so. So I feel now that this is the right time to do it, because with that Small Business Act, it brings international attention and the structure where that we presently, I don't know, Mr. Newry, we don't have a definite definition, structure, and real definition what a small business is all about. We don't have it.
I might even agree with you here because, like I said, that when I hear you describe what you are describing, and then what the official definition is describing, it's come some ambiguity. But I still want to appreciate what is it that you're lobbying for. The pandemic hit. Right. A number of small businesses were impacted,
of course,
and you were forced to form a group in order to lobby the government that they should be doing more, right? I want to understand the environment of what was happening at that time that sparked the need to form your organization.
Right. See, what happened was, and what happened was that when that pandemic hit, we was not formed at the time. But, a couple of our businesses, we are in products, we are in retailing, we are in services. We say, something? Why is it when strategies and opening and closing and these all type of different scenarios with no type of base came about, I say, why they didn't contact us? So we say, what? So we had to get desperate. Because they call us non-essential. That means we can't even feed our family. So one time we're doing this, one time there was no real definition of what they was doing and no structure. So we say, hey, we need to do something. So we march. And when we march, we got some intention.
How many people march? You're making the numbers sound like a big.
No, it was like 45 of us who marched.
That's big and relative enough.
Yeah, but let me tell you what happened. We wanted 100. And the reason why we didn't get 100, because we were what I call somewhat intimidated, some of us, because we did not get our police approval until the day of the march. And we put it in 3 months before that.
Okay.
And we never got it until the day of the march. We had to go there.
You had to go to ask for it personally.
And let me tell you what happened. There was a lot of radical people, of some of them, who wanted us to have 1,000 people march and go crazy. No. We said we're going to do it the right way. So we went there and said, okay, the police said, well, hey, Mr. Tanquist in your group, we cannot let you go.
COVID.
Not only that, no, not COVID, because we really explained to them, we spaced out. It was a spaced out march. Just we had mass and spaced out. We was led by our spiritual chaplain, Walter Hanschel, at the time too, right? So we structured. So, but it was deliberate. It was everybody marching against the government, right? There was not a march against the government. It was a march for the people, by the people. We marched because we couldn't eat. All our businesses was closing. Rent was due. And that was a big problem. And I was a little angry at the former administration
Yeah, the government did a piss-tail job.
for not accepting us.
And the idea is that COVID happened. They shut down all the business, and they didn't have
And I
any
was-
plan in order for Bohemians to survive. They forced us to be on the breadline and begging
Exactly.
to survive, right?
Right.
And then, like you said, they dub all of these businesses, the majority of the businesses, as non-essential.
Right.
But yet these businesses are essential for you to live and eat.
Of course,
and pay your bills.
Of course, and think about that, and because of that, we have a couple of strategic initiatives. First of all, pandemic. We wanted the pandemic to really take shape. And another strategic initiative was that we want, of course, like I told you, the Small Business Act, and that's a long story that.
We can talk about that.
And also we want, what we want is a national development plan for small businesses in the Bahamas. The Prime Minister, he's advocate for a national development plan, but we want to tie that in with everything else and focus on the 242, the whole Bahamas.
Okay, let's go there. I understand what happened in the pandemic. You started this organization, got all of the prerequisite paperwork in order to be recognized as a legitimate organization.
Right.
Right. And this was because your small business were ignored during the pandemic in
Right.
terms of how to survive, what's the next way forward and opportunities, right? And now you're formed.
Right.
Now you're formed, and then you created some ideas or
Right.
develop some ideas on what you think that small businesses, micro businesses needed.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those things was the Small Business Act.
Right.
Right. And this Small Business Act is a document that you produced or you and your organization produced, right?
Yeah, well, I initially produced it here that with a lot of different industries, because when I had the summit in 2009, we were represented by at least 11 different industries at the time. And it was the first national small business summit. It was for a whole week, and it gives a lot of information. But over the years, the structure, because don't care what you do, if you don't have a fundamental solid structure, because when legislation is not developed, that means governments can come and go and forget about it. Take, for instance, in 2012, my team and I, we developed SMEDA, the Small Business Development Agency. Mm-hmm. But when the government came in 2016-17, they changed it to Small Business Development Center. Mm-hmm. So those kind of things we don't like. But when you have a national development plan for small business development, legislated and all that, then you don't care what government coming, there'll always be a framework with in place. And you know what is the most important thing that we told this present government is that we really want, and this is pivotal, this is very important, to have a seat at the table when they are, and their consultants are making what I call steps, initiatives, policies that affect the small businesses.
But turn question, you're already at the table. You're the director, basically. You're part of the board.
No.
SBDC.
No.
You at the table.
No. There's a difference.
You want to have a different table.
No. There's a difference between being at the government table and a non-government table.
Okay, you want to be at the government table.
No. When I say that means as the 242 Small Business Association, we are independent of the government. We are not related to the government.
Okay.
So we give a different perspective. Mm-hmm. So when the government said, we want to do this, as a board member, you could say this and that, but don't forget you are the mercy of the board of the government. Mm-hmm. But when you are in an independent organization like the 242, you can advocate for different things.
I understand.
Because what we really want, take for instance, anything that I'm not getting involved in groceries, retailers, pharmaceutical, the gas stations, and all the rest of other stuff. In reference to the challenge they're facing with our. But what is very important is for the government to listen to the voice of the small businesses and then produce the policies after the fact. You see? One of the challenge the government has, and this has been, I've been in business like for 22 years now, is that all governments do this. It could be one way or another. The governments always set policies. Then there'd be some type of chaotic stuff from the small businesses or retailers or whatever, and then they make an adjustment to their behavior in reference to what occurred. But what we was advocating with the Prime Minister when we met with him last year was that, okay, we want to have a seat at the table before any major initiatives take place. Let us, along with our members, in association, maybe with the Chamber of Commerce or with the other organization, and say, okay, if you are going to affect this part of the sector, let's discuss it. So it is a working process, but I feel as if this government is receptive of what our intentions are. We are non-political. We are gender equal. In fact, our chairman or chairperson, she's a woman, Alberta Roll. We have board of directors. We have management team. We have committee chairs. And we are small business, focused and professional. So you will see a lot of things occur this year, Mr. Newry, with my team, because our team, the chairperson and a couple of board members, we will be going on a road trip to various places, these family islands, and also over here, to let the world know. Because I have a lot of people all over the world always interested in what we're doing here. Because, and that's something I was telling the previous governments, and all these governments, when we have a small business, international donor agencies to lend us money, air markets money, and all type of structures. Once we are structured, they say, okay, this IDB and all the rest of the other organizations beyond that, EU, but support us more. And Mr. Newry, once we have a structure, that National Development Plan, and that Small Business Act, most definitely we will be more beneficial, because the government earmark $50 million a year. And also, that $50 million could be anything, or go anywhere. But you know what we also advocating to? Because we have five, and this is the fifth one too, is that structure. We want the $50 million to be earmarked to certain industries, retail industry, the creative industries, handicraft, agriculture. They have different sectors or industries who have different money going towards it. They have the fish and farm grant funding. You have that right now. But it's a lot of different sector industries that are not represented.
And
like manufacturing is key.
Yes, but I know that the government has embraced manufacturing. I saw that shoe company with SPDC and government was doing that. I see they have pepper manufacturing and giving people loans. So I hear you when you say, one minute for me, I hear you when you say we need more structure. And I need you to give me an example of what type of structure is either lacking or what do we need. So the listening audience can say, okay, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. I follow what you mean. We will lobby with you. We will join on your cause. We can call the Chamber of Commerce and say, Chamber of Commerce, you want to know Mark? Mark give a whole slew of things. How come you all ain't on board with him? Why isn't he spearheading this? What structure you keep on saying we missing?
Right. Okay, what happened is that basically, when you develop a structure, first of all, let's start off the definition of a small business. You agree with that, Newry? So first of all, we need that. The second thing we need is more collaboration between all ministries, NGOs that focus on small business development. Case in point. We need more collaboration with focus between BIC, the Bahamas Venture Fund, SPDC, our organization, and everybody doing something different. And when it comes to alignment. So we need more of that. Another thing we need is that a lot of organizations, especially in the Family Islands, right? I have a program I call Tour de Bahamas, where I go to Family Islands independently training. Take, for instance, Michael area. There's no what I call strategy. Okay, say, what type of community is my Cal, the individual islands? So we could develop them individually. Right? So with that small business, like we say, okay, we're focusing on certain islands have certain needs. We're going to do a need analysis of strategic initiatives, and we're going to develop these islands. Right? Because once you do that, then all the islands, because we when it comes to shipping and costs, and because you know the thing is, take for instance, Mama in Cat Island wants to get her handicraft to Germany. Right? Presently, there's no template or structure to say how Mama is going to go and get her product to Germany. Okay, you go through BIC, what happened next? FedEx or whatever. So there's no ideal template. So okay, this is how you do it, Mama. And then we're going to consolidate all the handicrafts, vendors or whatever. And hey, instead of you all making a little 5 bags, a little 6, a little 7 or 8, let's see if we could do mass production and make it economic sound to go to these places. The only way we can develop this country if there is a structured collaboration, and that's what we want. The 242 Small Business Association Resource Center, we want to have a meeting with the Chamber of Commerce, BIC, the Venture Fund, SPDC,
So
and one roof now.
Just going to ask you, haven't had a meeting with these people already?
Unfortunately, an attempt was made, but we were not well received from only BAIC receive us at this time.
Chamber, you meet with you?
Well, no, not yet. I sent something to them, but we're gonna hopefully they get with us. But
I know the chamber head. You want me to text him?
no, I know both of them, and I spoke to them and I dropped our proposal off to them, and hopefully we will meet with them. But some other organizations right now, we're going to make another attempt to meet with the SPDC, another attempt to meet with certain other organizations. But that, like the Prime Minister indicated to us, the only way we can be successful if we collaborate together and have one song focus initiatives. And that's what we're willing to do. So, Mr. Newry, I'm happy for you to have us, me here. But when we come, you see the chairperson be on the road, and our deputy, Keith Dean, he's our deputy chairman, and Alberta Rule.
So what I'll do is, I want to know who all are part of your executive. But I have a caller here.
Right.
And as soon as this caller engage you and ask you a question, I want you to tell me what does your executive board look like?
Exactly.
So listening audience can appreciate what your membership look like and the expertise and talent that you have.
Okay.
But go ahead, caller. Producer, pass your caller through. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning. I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Is it? Good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
The gentleman, your name is Mr. Mark something.
Mark A. Turnquist.
Yeah. Mr. Mark, I always say in this type of conversations that in this country, because I think the picture is bigger than just business, the business center or prisons. I think, as an example, I don't think the young people are going to be interested in getting into business and be appealing to them the way things structure businesses in this country. Black people, the black side of our people are not business friendly. From what I sit back and I've observed, and you watch from this thing started with the price control, with the government and everything. You watch the people who only wanted the socialism, and they want business people to just be a stepping stone for them to get into socialism and get something for free. You don't hear the cry. The white part of this country, right? We always talk, but we don't even talk about that no more because they like business, they're into business, they pass business on to their children, and they're business ethical and business thoughtful. We're not that type of people. We're governing. I heard someone said on call the show yesterday and said we're governing from the point of view for poverty. And I agree with that person. And, we're headed back to slavery only this time by a black president. And all our interest is jobs. So it's bigger than what you're saying. But the only people who, I've been preaching this and having this conversation for years, the only people, my black people, I ain't preaching them no more. That's up to you. But the only people that understand what you're saying is business-minded people who are in business, or either those who take it upon themselves to educate themselves in that aspect. People even here, they don't really even care or understand. They only want hands out. Brother, you have a nice day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Mark, I before you tell me the names of your executive team, right? I have this text, and they wanted you to comment on it. It said, recently, the central bank has decreed an end to checks in December. No consultation with small businesses, not even the check printing companies. This will be 30 people out of work. And with that, I think that they made a decree that once upon a time, a small business could have write their check and go to the food store, city market, Super Value, whatever it is, and say, man, can you cash this for me?
Right.
That is no longer viable to them, as available to them.
Right.
How will this impact small mom and pops type stores?
Of course, basically, it would be somewhat devastating because a lot of people at a point in time has not reached their level of technology with wallets and all the rest of other stuff. It's going to affect. And this is one of the myriad of things I indicated that government or non-government organizations that have influence of our economic condition should come to us and really do things what they're supposed to. So you'll see CA Newry that we'll be doing all of this. So we're going to be aggressive, forceful, but professional. That's why, like I say, I could have 1,000, 2,000 people on that march, but I only got, I was targeted. We are very targeted, and we ain't getting all the place. That's why you only see us. So you see me newspaper and all the rest of that, but you see us professionally do things correctly.
You're in the paper a lot. You write a lot. You're a prolific writer with ideas. And
18
concepts.
years. That's why we are back, and that's why I can attract a board like what I have now.
And I see we have a call here, but I want to hear about your board.
Right.
I want to hear about your board because I want to see what type of people you have
On my board.
on your board and who following you, who believe in
Oh,
something.
yes.
To say,
Small
well,
business. Small business. Small business.
Micro business. But go ahead.
It's
Yeah,
small.
mom and pop type stores.
Yeah. No.
No?
500,000. No.
500,000.
No. Let me tell you who on our board. No,
Go
we
ahead.
focus them for 1 to 500,000. Of course, a lot of people get $1 million for small business. No, but we okay. First of all, our chairperson is Alberta Rule.
Good people, yes.
Of course, she's a dedicated financial advisor. Keith Dean is our deputy chairperson. Right? We have Nathaniel Butler is one of the directors.
You're good people.
Oh yeah, Simone Bowe is one of the directors.
One, too.
Oh yes, Lisa Thompson is one of our from the Kong Bar. We have Lester Gibson. We have David Williams. You know David.
Yeah, no, Dave Williams.
We have William Lunn. We have Kelly Nixon. We have from designer and boutique Eddie Toot. Right? We have David Turnquist. We have Sean Turnquist.
So you have reputable people who support you.
Man,
People who are renowned in the Bahamas
Of course.
and respected and say, okay, these are professional men and women. I see that.
that's the team that was built. And because I was a founder and they saw my vision, we have strategic plans, we have strategic action plans. We'll be meeting with IDB soon. We'll be meeting with Small Business Development Center in Florida soon. We'll be meeting with CEDA. We'll be meeting with USAID. We'll be meeting with European. There's a lot of focus internationally and nationally that we'll be focusing on. We are fledging, right now. But hey, we've only been in structure for a year now. But hey, small business.
Small business.
We are going to move.
You can move.
From what? From a march to a movement. Be strong, be spirited.
I feel passion. I see I have another caller here who wants to engage you.
Of course.
Producer, patch the caller through. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Newry.
How you doing, man, 52?
Yeah, I'm all right. I can appreciate what the brother's saying, right? But, in the last caller, I guess that might be typical of someone who calls himself a business, right? Person, right? But, I have I inherited a little small business from the family. So according to the parameters of the micro, and I hear you calling the money that they make, right? So I would dub myself as a nano business, right? But I'm self-employed, right? Still paranoid, right? but I enjoy in this life of just the solitude that I enjoy, just doing what I learned from my mom and the workers, right? So upholstery is a very difficult, very tedious work. It's like I have a compass and I have a square, right? So in order to do this professional work, you have to really, really engross in it. It may take you about 10 years to really learn it professionally. But the thing is about this, you never learn everything because everything is different. So it's an engaging job. It's not like any other job. You have to see what you make, and then the customer have to be satisfied. And so, as a small business person, I send people out to buy materials, etc. I contribute to the economy, but I'm not getting anything in return. So to the caller, right? The tree fell on the roof and the bark damaged the roof years ago. I can't remember which hurricane it was, but I fixed it out of pocket. Because when Mom died, I was optimistic that I would be able to do what I have to do. And I have maybe one or two people that come in temporarily and help me, right? But I haven't gone to the small business seminar. What you call it now? Axel, what?
Access Accelerator.
Yeah, I haven't gone to them for anything. People saying go to them and get the grants and get this and that. But what I realize is the oligarchical structure. When the wholesalers over here with upholstery stuff, right? They are killing people with the prices. And so what you do is, what they should realize is when people go online now, people can actually see the prices that these things are selling for online. And so when you see the prices they're selling you, selling the prices that they're selling you the products for, it's cheaper that you go on and try to order the stuff yourself. And so as a gentleman who's very close to me, he has an upholstery business also, and he orders the stuff wholesale. So me and him trying to compound and get together and do these things. And so I even the inferior products that they bring in, and so they don't really care. They have a monopoly on it. So what I decided to do is I trying to get into the wholesale thing and buy the products and sell it to the customers myself. You see, because this is the way for me. But then shipping costs and all these different impediments. So there's nothing done to assist me as far as reduction in customs duty or whatever, that just to facilitate the small businessman. The small businessman is being suppressed very much so. So I don't want people to believe like everyone is in. I don't want no harm. As long as I have a health and strength, I've never even been to these people and asked for nothing. Not even a government contract. All right, because like I said the other day, the clinic offered me a contract for about $7,000. I turned it down because I didn't want to waste any money to go buy products for them, do their work, and then wait on government to pay me. I deal with private people that I work faster. Even the hotel pay me faster than government. So I'm not a person singing for supper, want anything from these people because the kind of work that I do, boat work, car seat, these things are enough for me. It takes up all my time, so it doesn't matter the government contract. It just, I surviving on my own then. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know where that caller get that off from. And I try to do everything out of pocket. That's the best way for me. And I'm blessed because I don't have to pay a rent for the little small stone building that she left. And everything is in place. I upkeep everything and buy what I need. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know what he's talking about. Like I said, I'm a nano business, not even a micro.
And 52, before you leave me, 52, as a nano businessman, and now that we have the consultant Mark Turnquist here, who is into training and assisting and advocating for small businesses, what would you recommend government needs to do to help you move from point A or from nano to a micro business? What support you and people like you? You mentioned another upholstery business between you two when you compare and contrast.
The first thing I would like to do, well, the upholstery business doesn't have an amalgamation or a cohesive body, number one. So what I'm saying is to facilitate products to be coming on a reasonable level, but you will obviously have the wholesalers who have a monopoly. They will come in and they will liaise with the government to try to stop this. But what I'm saying is I really don't need them to do anything for me, because I just different from customs duty and just some type of reciprocity as far as like tax and just exemption from certain things, because it's ridiculous. I bought a staple gun from a business on Wolf Road. The gun is shabby. It's poor quality. It's inferior. I fired it about 50 times and it stopped working. I call them. I say, "Why are you all selling this garbage? This is the worst." See the products. This gun is known infamous for being worthless, and they still selling it. But because it takes time to get it from the States, I decided to use this until it reached. It didn't even last until the name brand. I would get names brand like from Braun, which is a German name brand, which is about $500 online. That's without the shipping, or Porter Gable, or D-Wall, some name brand. These people even bringing in these type of name. You have to beg someone to actually bring in a reasonable staple gun. This is how bad we're doing. There's a lot of other products they bringing in, and even with the marine staples and stuff, they control all of these things. These prices are ridiculous when you go online and see what they're selling them for.
Okay.
So if they could facilitate something whereby people could get the products cheaper, because I still sending people out to buy products. And they're paying VAT on these products, and people say, well, they need 30 yards of cloth, they need this, they need that. You know what I mean? Some of the prices are ridiculous. The marine thread, I had a guy tell me $5 a yard the other day for the thread, $200 per reel. I tell the customer, man, I can use a little bit what I have left and make it work. You know what I mean? Bless up.
Thanks very much.
Right.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. The present state of our members and of my customers, we have some challenges in the atmosphere and environment. And maybe that's the music.
No, finish your point and we're going to the commercial break right now.
Yeah, basically there are three main challenges: inventory costs, of course there's staff expenses, and of course electricity bill. And we can address that more when we come back.
Okay, so let's go on this break now, producer. So we come back and go right back to Mark Turnquest and his views on what we can do to help small businesses. This has been Guiding Radio AM. We'll be right back.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
The new Guardian Radio app is here. Listen live to all our Guardian Radio shows and live video stream select programs in our studio. Get information about Guardian Radio shows and our hosts. Send messages including text, email, and even call. All from our amazing new Guardian Radio app. Download it free today in your App Store for your Apple device or Play Store for your Android device. The all-new and improved Guardian Radio app.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
And welcome back to Guardian Radio AM with C.A. Newry. And of course, I'm here with Mark Turnquest. And before we went to break, Mark was just basically explaining the rundown with all the things they need. And I'm going to let him give the opportunity for that. And I call ICU. So as soon as Mark gives me the rundown of this, I'll engage you again.
I'm going to be brief and there we go. Let's come back to me to close. Basically, the challenges now with our small businesses, with our members, and of course with my clients. Take, for instance, the inflation, of course, this 2%. I mean, we was going downhill from last year of September. The Black Friday was not black at all. It was almost was red. Some of my clients and members didn't even know how to have it because instead of giving people 50% discount, they wanted to just do nothing, anything at all. I say, hey, you can't give people all the discount, but just go at least get 30%. Because the inventory cost has gone high. The first cost of products, don't care where you buy it from, going up. Shipping costs going up 200%. Shipping, I mean, you can't even do. You have to buy some big containers and all over the place. And even when you bring it over here, depending where you go, it takes 6 months to reach at a good price, but 3 months at a bad price. But you need the product, so therefore you get 3 months at a bad price. So you pay higher costs. That's the challenge. And then the turnaround. This new year now, you have a high minimum wage went up. So therefore, 20%, 24%. So that, went from 210 to 216 now. So now that high cost. Then when NIB go up, also the contribution margin goes up. The employee version, because for the employees got to pay 5.9%. So that's going up. So it's a lot of stuff people don't think about it, because it went up, and of course BPL, electricity, went up. So at this point of time, when it comes to small, but the big businesses can absorb it, but my members and the small business community is fighting hard, because we get all of this going on right now, and one of my small business owners almost collapsed when I see NIB is going to increase. So that's a lot of, at this point in time, there's never been in my life the highest cost of operating a business in the country from a small business. And down rent and down other stuff. Because you got to market. I always tell people, don't slow down marketing. Marketing is not an expense, it's an investment. There's a lot of innovative things going on. You got to do it. But as the challenges we're facing, that's a lot of stuff. There's opportunities. Because the minimum wage went up, that means that more of our clients or customers could buy more of our clothing and electronics. Also, there's economic growth. The country is growing now because of tourism and other initiatives. But also there's innovative methods in selling products. And there's a lot of innovative products. If you want to get in business, there's a lot of ways you could get in business. There's a lot of innovative products, and you could make it adjustments, you could develop products, you can make it adjustments, you can customize products. And there's a lot of new technology. So you never be a me too. To never be the same as different organizations. Like me, I do business training consultancy. I'm different. I'm online, offline, out of line, or whenever the customer will meet me, I do that. What do you think, Carl?
So let me just put this caller through so I can have you wrap up and tell me how they can contact with you and stuff like that. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing? Make it quick.
My view is right in the matter. Say that any stimulus for any size business, right, is counterproductive if the business can't have employees and can't pay them a livable wage. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So that's the issue we have in this country, Whether giving stimulus to Atlantis, right, or to the guy with 2 lawnmowers. From those people can't pay a livable wage, that's counterproductive. You understand me? So if we produce 1,000 small businesses that making money, these people can take vacations all over the world 10 times a year and they can't pay a livable wage, that's wrong. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
So, but Turnquest.
Yes.
There's like 1 or 2 texts asking me how can they join?
Right.
How can they find you?
Right.
How do they get more information about 242 small business? So I give you the opportunity for that.
Okay, basically, you can write it simple. You could call me or text me, Mark A. Turnquest, 427-3640. That's 427-3640. You could email me, Mark A. Don't forget the A. Mark A. Turnquest @gmail.com. Mark A. Turnquest @gmail.com. There's 2 ways, and there's a registration form. There's a lot of mechanisms to go through, because we don't want quantity, we want quality. So anyone who come in an organization is going to be focused on being in some type of committee or have something to do.
But definitely, as we assist you in your movement and get things up and moving, we got to get you to meet with SBDC and have meetings with them. And we got to get you to meet with the Chamber of Commerce and explain to them and partner with them on ways you can help micro and nano businesses to get to the next level. You all need support, definitely need support. And it definitely between the government, between the Chamber, between SBDC and Assets Accelerator, they need to commit and say, hey, we will partner with you in moving forward.
Yeah, we need collaboration. That's all we need, collaboration.
Yes. But it's now 12 o'clock, and I definitely have to invite you again so we go back in detail. This has been Guardian Radio in the AM with C.A. Newry. Of course, we had Mark A. Turnquest with me, the good business consultant, and he was talking about the frustrations that small businesses are having and also opportunities that they can take advantage of and which government needs to consider. Have a wonderful day.